Yes, so another day, another video. Char. Anyway, let's continue our discussion on electrical standards and practices. So, ang topic natin ngayon is all about the National Electrical Manufacturers Association or yung tinatawag natin na NEMA. So, I think hindi nyo na first time na marinig ito kung ano yung NEMA. Okay, or maybe before naririnig nyo na about NEMA. So yung NEMA is National Electrical Manufacturers Associations. So ano nga ba ito? The National Electrical Manufacturer Association or NEMA is an organization that forms the standard for the manufacturing of medical imaging equipment and electrical equipment. NEMA provides a standard rating that defines environments for electrical enclosure which outlines the enclosure's ability to withstand certain conditions. Ultimately, NEMA standards benefit the user and manufacturer while improving safety and communication between purchaser and manufacturer. And they publish more than 700 standards in addition to white papers and technical papers to keep the industry abreast or standards for safety and protections. Their standards include protection for enclosures, motors, AC plugs, and magnet wires. Some examples sa kanilang mga product is yung mga ito. Enclosures, mostly yung ano natin, pag narinig natin yung word na NEMA o yung acronym nila na NEMA, ang pumapasok palagi sa isip natin is yung mga enclosures na yan. Pero as defined, makita natin na marami pa silang product aside from the enclosures. Purpose of NEMA is to provide the safety. Siyempre, pag sinabi natin standard, it's all about the safety, environment, and marketing enhancement of the industry. Konting background about the history of NEMA. Established in 1926 from the merger of the Electric Power Club and Associated Manufacturers of Electrical Supplies. Provides a platform for standardizing electrical equipment to ensure safety, effectiveness, and compatibility. Influential in shaping public policy related to the electrical industry. Acts as a confidential agency to collect, compile, and analyze market, statistic, and economic data. So, enclosure types, ito talaga yung ano nila, parang alam natin about sa kanila. Okay, so ito yung mga examples ng ating mga enclosures. We have the wall mount enclosure, floor rather, mount enclosure, mount and press standing, junction boxes, push button enclosure, wire through enclosures, console and consolettes, disconnecting enclosure, and mga different enclosures na makikita natin sa industry natin or sa field natin as an EE. Enclosure type, yan. Anema, anema enclosure can protect against everything from long-term submersion to a light drizzle, including direct contact from a hose. Enclosures can also protect against winter elements like sleet and snow to ensure that there is no interruption of services in the event of a snow storm or an enclosure of ice. So, in other words, yung mga enclosures natin is protective devices sa ating mga it serves as protections sa ating mga circuit breakers para hindi pasukin ng kung ano-ano. Baka ito ay mabasa, so prevent ni enclosure yung mga yon. So very important yung ating mga enclosure. So si NEMA na yung nagtatalaga ng mga standard ng mine. So, for example, yan, water. Okay? So, dirt, dust, and debris naman, location can vary for a NEMA enclosure, which means it must be versatile enough to withstand anything from falling debris to overcoming of dust, both indoor and outdoor. So, para ma-prevent natin na pasukin ng mga ganyang bagay. Humans. A NEMA enclosure can protect humans from electric shock or possible injury that can arise, okay, from that. So, parang ganyan. So, para hindi makuryente or maano man yung isang human being na nandun sa paligid ng ano, so meron tayong standard sa mga ganyan. It can be difficult to determine the type of enclosure depending on the location and protection needs. NEMA enclosure are subject to certain NEMA ratings which can indicate the best type of enclosure for a certain locations protections needs. So, andito yung parang titignan natin kung ano yung the best na ilalagay natin in a certain area, in a certain location, so that we can protect kung ano yung kailangan nating i-protect. So, piliin natin or i-select natin kung ano yung the best, okay, na gagamitin natin na enclosure. So, for example, sa dust, dirt, mga ganyan. So, ano ba yung kailangan natin? Okay, or ano ba yung pwede? Parang ganyan. So, tignan lang natin dyan para pasok sa standard. Kasi kung gagamit tayo, for example, ng enclosure, mali pala sa place na yun, sayang lang. Or magkakaroon ng, we can say, hindi safety pag ganon. So, piliin natin or tignan natin mabuti kung ano yung gagamitin natin under that location or that situation. Okay? NEMA type ratings are not a mandatory requirement for electrical components and how they are designed or built. NEMA ratings are simply a completely voluntary industry standards. So, yan. Okay? Ito, NEMA 1. Okay? Ano ba yung NEMA 1? Is typically best suited for indoor use. It can protect humans from electric shock as a result of contact with live electrical parts. The equipment can also be protected from light falling debris like dirt. So, pag nasa loob ng bahay, kailangan mo ng enclosure, gagamit tayo ng NEMA 1. Kasi yung materials na gamit dyan is hindi pwede sa outdoor. So, for indoor lang. Kaya, yan yung gagamitin natin inside or indoor. Suited for indoor, NEMA 1. So, always remember that kasi yan yung mga may encounter natin sa field. NEMA 3R or 3RX, ano naman ito? Yung engineered for outdoor or indoor use that can protect against the formation of ice around and closure, rain, snow, sleet, and dirt. Yan naman is for outdoor use. O pwede rin sa indoor. Okay? Pero mostly yung ginagamit natin outdoor is yung NEMA 3R or NEMA 3RX. Yan. So, yan. Pag protection for rain sa Pilipinas or dirt kasi wala naman tayong snow dito. So, yan. Yung mostly ginagamit natin. Kaya pag naririnig nyo, NEMA 3R. Ayan. Yun, yung gamit nito. So, yung NEMA 1 pwede bang gamitin outdoor? Pag ako yung inspector ninyo, hindi pwede. Kasi yan yun eh. Nasa standard nila yun eh. So, kung may project kayo outside, okay, may project kayo na NEMA outside the building or yun, possible na direct siya sa rain or sa dirt. So, gagamit tayo ng NEMA 3R or NEMA 3RX. NEMA 3 or NEMA 3X made for both indoor and outdoor use as they are rain tight, sleet tight, and dust tight. This designation also indicates that there are extra protection against the elements relative to a 3R or 3RX rating. So, pwede rin gamit tayo ng NEMA 3 or NEMA 3X for outdoor or indoor natin. NEMA 4, NEMA 4X, and example ng NEMA 4 and NEMA 4X. Offers the same degree of protection as the NEMA 3 enclosure, but with additional protection against hose-directed water or water ingress. This can be helpful when cleaning off the enclosure. It can also protect against ice and any dirt. So, pwede. Mamili na lang tayo kasi parang ano lang naman to NEMA 3. Okay, so meron lang linagay. Okay, so sa ano nila, protection against hose-directed water. So, yun yung NEMA 4 at NEMA 4X naman tayo. So, kung may ganong instances in the field, so, maigi, gumamit tayo ng ganyan, NEMA 4, NEMA 4X. NEMA 6 and NEMA 6P, in addition to the water protection found in NEMA 4 enclosures, NEMA 6 enclosures can protect against water submersion up to a certain depth. Ito naman yung gagamitin natin. Ano ba yung mga project natin na related sa water? Yan. Okay? So, pwede ito. Ito yung gamitin natin, yung NEMA 6 or NEMA 6P. Okay? So, pero, submersion up to a certain depth lang. So, hindi naman pwedeng ganito karalim or ganyan kalalim. So, yun lang. Certain depth lang. And NEMA 7, built for hazardous location that can also provide protection against explosion, but it is for indoor use only. Yan. Okay, so yung mga gumagamit na yan, NEMA 7. Okay, hazardous location against or protection against explosion. Okay, pero ang gamit lang ito is for indoor use. NEMA 8 also built for protection against hazardous location, including protection against explosion, and it can be used both indoor and outdoor. So, yan naman yung gagamitin natin. Against hazardous, against explosions, both indoor and outdoor. NEMA 9, ano naman tong NEMA 9? NEMA 9, protection against dust ignition, intended for indoor use and usable in hazardous locations. NEMA 10 meets the Mine Safety and Health Administration standard for enclosures. Yan, NEMA 10. And NEMA 12K, enclosure that are typically intended for general and indoor use. They can protect against splashing water and rush in addition to circulating dust or falling dirt. And NEMA 13, meant for general purpose and indoor use that provide the same protection as a NEMA 12 closure but can also protect against spraying oil or coolant. So, ayan lang. Basta ano lang, tignan lang natin kung ano yung environment sa location, ano yung nangyayari doon. Tapos, isut natin kung anong NEMA yung pwede natin ilagay doon. So, kung merong presence ng spraying oil or coolants doon, edi gamit tayo ng NEMA 13 parang ganyan. Okay? Factors to consider when selecting a NEMA enclosure. Ito na yung mga sinasabi ko, yung environment. Okay, the first step is selecting the right NEMA enclosure is understanding the environment in which the equipment will be used. Will it be exposed to water, dust, chemical, or extreme temperatures? For instance, indoor environment might require NEMA 1 or 12 enclosures. Outdoor environments or harsh industrial application might need NEMA 4, 4X, or 6 or NEMA 6 enclosures. So, yan. Tingnan natin kung ano yung environment na yan. So, kung nakita natin, edi ganito yung gamitin natin. That's why, pag nagde-design tayo, okay, pwede nating pasyalan kung ano yung environment ng location na yan, ano yung nangyari sa location na yan para ma-design natin kung ano talaga yung gagamitin natin. Okay? So, NEMA 1 ba? NEMA 3? NEMA 12? So on and so forth. Parang ganyan. Another thing is material. NEMA enclosure are made from various material depending on the application. Steel or stainless steel, okay, aluminum, non-metallic, fiberglass. So, tignan din natin kung ano yung require pag meron tayong ganyan. So, it requires ba na stainless steel? It requires ba na aluminum or non-metallic kung pwede rin? Ayan. So, tignan natin kung ano yung material na require. Kasi, for example, meron tayong project, okay? So, ganito yung naka-indicate sa ating program of works or yung description ng ating mga panel boards o ang ating mga NEMA, di sundin natin. Huwag tayong gumamit ng non-metallic kung ang nandun is yung mga stainless steel, parang ganyan. So, i-consider natin yung material. And then, the corrosion resistance. For environments where corrosive substances are present like salt water or chemicals, an NEMA 4X enclosure made of corrosion-resistant materials such as stainless steel or fiberglass is ideal. So, ayan, sa mga salt water or chemicals, yan, yung mga, ayan, yung corrosion resistance. So, yung environment mo is parang nasa ano ka, beachfront or yan, mga resort sa paligid ng beach na yan. So, ano yung gagamitin natin? So, you can suggest to your client that, Sir, ma'am, we can use NEMA 4X kasi ito ay corrosion resistant. Okay? Parang ganyan. So, yan. Yung the best na gamitin natin. So, dapat as an engineer, someday, yan, yung mga simple things na pwede nating isuggest sa ating mga client later on. Okay? Ingress protection, protection from water, dust, and foreign object is crucial in many applications depending on the level of protection needed. Example, against rain, whose directed water, or submersion, the appropriate NEMA rating can be chosen. So, tignan natin kung ano yung situation on that area, yung ingress protection natin. Okay, para alam natin. Kasi later on, pag nagbigay ka ng ganito, NEMA 1 yung nilagay mo, tapos may ano lang, may umulan lang ng konti, pinasok na yung tubig, tatawagan ka engineer, bakit ganito yung nilagay mo, pinapasok ka ng tubig. Ayun, pag di mo nakita yun, it should be NEMA 3R pala yung gagamitin ko. So, di bad shot ka na dun sa client mo na yun. So, beware din tayo pagdating sa mga ganyan. NEMA ratings are essential for ensuring that electrical enclosures can safely protect equipment in various environments from basic indoor application to hazardous industrial settings. Understanding these ratings allows engineers and technicians to choose the right enclosure for their specific operational needs, ensuring both safety and efficiency. And motors and generators under NEMA, meron din tayo yan. Diyan. So, motors. Yan. NEMA motors designation. NEMA classifies motor based on their performance characteristics. The most common NEMA motors designs include NEMA design A, B, C, D. Okay, meron din tayo. So, NEMA design A. Okay, general purpose motor with normal starting torque and high starting current. These motor are used in application that don't require high starting torque, suited for a broad variety of application like fans and pumps. So, NEMA design A yung gagamitin natin sa mga fans and pumps natin. Okay, sa HVAC naman, HVAC application with fan, blowers, and pumps, we usually use NEMA Design B, the most commonly used motor design. It offers normal starting torque, low starting current, and good efficiency. Okay? So, dito naman, sa NEMA Design C, the motors have high starting torque and low starting current, suited for equipment with high inertia and high starting torques at start like positive displacement pumps or conveyors. So, pag nakakita kayo ng mga ganyan, usually nakikita natin conveyor is sa airport, di ba? Pag yung mga luggage natin dumadaan, o ang ginagamit nilang ano diyan is NEMA Design C, parang ganyan. Okay? And for positive displacement pumps, NEMA Type C din. NEMA Type Design D, ayan, characterized by very high starting torque and low starting current but reduced efficiency. Suited for equipment with very high inertia starts like cranes, hoists, and other familiar things. So, or same things, or etc. So, yan, yung ginagamit nila sa mga cranes na yan. Okay, NEMA Design D. So, NEMA motors, frames, sizes. NEMA specifies standard frame sizes for motor which dictate the motor's physical dimensions such as shaft height, mounting dimension, etc. Frame size ensures that motors from different manufacturers are physically interchangeable. A few key examples of frame size include 48 frame, common in fractional horsepower motors, 56 frame frequently used in industrial application. Okay? So, yan yung mga frame size ng ating mga motors. Sa laboratory natin, I think meron din tayong motor doon na ginagamit. Efficiency ratings. NEMA also sets standards for motor efficiency, most notably the NEMA Premier Efficiency motors. These are designed to operate with high energy efficiency, reducing power consumption, and helping industry save on energy costs. They are required in many commercial and industrial applications due to energy efficiency regulations. NEMA MG-1 Table 12-11 full load efficiencies of energy efficient motors. So makikita natin dyan yung table sa table 12-11 na yan kung ano yung kailangan natin regarding sa motor na yan. Okay? So just visit that table. Enclosures. NEMA motors can have different types of enclosure depending on the environment which they will operate. Open drip proof or ODP, totally enclosed fan cooled or TEFC or the explosion proof. Yan. Open drip proof, ito, used in environments where there is minimal exposure to dust, dirt, and moisture. So, yan yung ODP. Yan yung example nito. Yung TEFC naman is common in harsher environments where the motor needs protection from external contaminants. And yung explosion proof designed for use in hazardous environments where explosive gases or dust are present. So, yan yung mga sample natin. Okay, so kung merong motors, yan, NEMA generators naman tayo. Are designed and built to meet NEMA standard to ensure performance and safety in a variety of applications including backup power, industrial power generation, and renewable energy integrations. NEMA generators, the synchronous versus the asynchronous. Ayan, medyo hindi natin mabasa yung slides natin. Okay, anyway, i-edit ko na lang to para mabasa natin. Basta, yan. Asynchronous induction generators often used in wind turbines and smaller power generation system. They are simpler but require external excitation to operate. So, nakikita natin yung generators na yan sa mga turbines or smaller power generation system natin. Okay. NEMA, generations ratings. NEMA set standard for the performance characteristics of generators, including power output, efficiency, and voltage regulations. Yan. Okay. Meron tayong mga code. Okay. Generator codes na A, B, C, D up to M. Yung rating KVA nila as S is nandito. So, typical motor size, special, 15 HP plus, 10 HP plus, 5 and 7, 0.5 HP, 3 HP, 1 HP. Ayan. Up to less than 1 horsepower. Typical size motor size. Enclosure naman ng generator, similar to motors. So, generators are designed with various NEMA enclosure types to protect the equipment in different operating environments. For instance, an open closure might be sufficient for indoor generators, while outdoor or industrial application may require weatherproof or explosion-proof enclosure. So, ayan, yung enclosure ng ating generator. Baka it requires, yan, yung waterproof or explosion-proof enclosure natin. Reliability. NEMA certified motors and generators are built for durability, especially in demanding industrial applications. And another thing under NEMA is yung magnet wires. Ano naman tong magnet wires? The ANSI or NEMA, okay, MW 1000-2003 Revision 1 of 2005 document is an in-depth standard for magnet wire developed by the National Electrical Manufacturers Association or NEMA and approved as an American national standard by the American National Standard Institute or ANSI. Okay? So, tignan natin kung ano to. Magnet wire is primarily used for winding coils in electrical apparatus such as motors, transformers, and other electromagnetic devices. The document outlines definition material, requirements, dimension standard, performance properties, and testing method for various types of magnet wire, ensuring consistency and reliability in manufacturing applications. So, sino na dito yung nakapag-rewind na ng mga ganyan? Motor, transformers, okay, other electromagnetic devices, makikita natin na yung ginagamit natin na wire doon or magnet wire na yun is hindi lang pala basta-basta. Kasi by the NEMA, tinignan na nila kung ano yung sizes, ano yung materials na gagamitin natin. So, ayan, na way back in our college days, na-try din namin na mag-rewire ng isang transformer. So, syempre, may computation dun kung ilang, ano ba yun? Kung ilang turn, okay? Ilang turn yung wire natin for that certain transformer. So, ngayon, yung mga wires na pala yon na size of wires, types of wire is sa NEMA pala, or yung NEMA na yung yung NEMA na yung tumingin dito kung ano yung mga sizes, types of wire na yon na gagamitin natin. So may standard din pala para mapalabas natin yung kailangan nating voltage, mga ganyan. Okay? Magnet wire, forward and introduction. The document replaces the previous MW 1000-1997 standard and was developed through a collaboration between NEMA's magnet wire section and industry representatives. It is periodically reviewed to stay up to date with advancement in technology. The standard covers copper and aluminum magnet wires as well as wire with various insulation types such as film-coated and fibrous-covered conductors. Okay, yung magnet wires natin, general information yung part 1 provides an overview of the general requirements application to all types of magnet wires. Scope is the standard compasses round, rectangle, and square magnet wires that are insulated with various material. These wires are typically used in the winding of coils for electrical equipment, and the standard defines their physical dimensions, construction, and performance requirements. Example of those round, rectangular, and square magnet wire natin is ito, yung mga nakikita natin. Okay? So, ano ba yung kailangan natin na gamitin for that certain electrical equipment? So, kailangan ba natin ng magnet wire rectangle? E di yun yung gamitin natin. Yung square ba or yung round? So, ayan. Pero, ang maganda dito is dumaan na sa NEMA kung ano yung standard na gagamitin natin. Normative references, the document references standard from the organizations such as the American Society for Testing and Materials and the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineer or IEEE. This reference provide the framework for the testing method and performance criteria outlined in the document. So, hindi lang basta-basta yung pinagdaanan ng standards na yan, pero dumaan din siya sa ASTM and sa IEEE natin. Definitions. The documents include details definition of key terms related to magnet wire such as build, the increase in wire diameter due to the insulation. Okay, conductor, the copper or aluminum wire that transmits electrical current. The insulations, the dielectric material that covers the conductor to prevent electric leakage. And magnet wires, wire insulated for use in electrical coils to create electromagnetic field. So, yun yung mga definitions natin under magnet wires. So, pag build, alam na natin kung ano ibig sabihin nun. Okay? Yung conductor, siyempre alam na natin yan. Tayo insulation and the magnet wire. Materials, specification for the materials used in magnet wire include the conductors, okay, such as copper and aluminum conductors, insulating materials, film coating such as polyurethane, polyester, polyamide, and fibrous coverings. Yan yung mga materials na ginamit nila. Okay, manufacturing, insulation application, magnet wire must be coated or wrapped in a way that ensures the insulation meets the performance requirements. The insulation should be smooth, continuous, and free of foreign materials. Okay, so joints, when joints in the wire are necessary, they must be welded or braced. Packaging, magnet wire must be wound on spools or reels that prevent damaging during transport. Siyempre, under this manufacturing, they see to it na yung product nila or yung finished product na gagamitin natin is okay na okay, kasi pag hindi, edi maraming magiging perwisyo. So that's why tinitignan lahat nila sa manufacturing kung maraming lulusutan na section yung pag sa manufacturing kung sa QA, quality assurance and so on, para makita natin yung finished product nito na maganda at saka safe na gamitin. Test condition, ayan, so dumadaan din siya sa series of testing, ambient condition, mandrels, mga ganyan. So tinitignan talaga nila, okay, yung mga magnet wires natin. Properties and requirements. Part 2 outlines the specific thermal classes, properties, and requirements for different types of magnet wire insulation. The properties are grouped based on thermal classes, or temperature ranges, and the type of insulation or covering material used. The document covers both round and rectangular wires with copper and aluminum conductors. Thermal classes. Magnet wires are classified by their thermal rating, which refers to the maximum temperature they can withstand without degrading their insulation or electrical performance. So the standard includes the thermal classes such as, and yung mga nandyan, 105 degrees Celsius, 130, 155. Each thermal classes corresponds to specific types of insulation materials that are capable of withstanding this temperature during the operations. Insulation types and coatings, tumadaan din dyan. Okay, provide documents, or the documents specifies a wide variety of insulation type, each unique properties and applications. So, polyurethane and polyester. So, later, insulation types and coating under that. Okay, polyimide and glass fiber coating. MW is magnet wire. Each insulation type is assigned an magnet wire. Number N is described in terms of thermal class, specific dimensions, and performance requirements. For example, MW16-C is a polyimide insulated wire with a thermal class of 240 degrees designed by the for high performance application. So, yan yung mga code nila, example nila. So, yan. MW41-C, MW50-C, okay? MW16-C, ayan. The document includes comprehensive table that lists the minimum and maximum dimension for bare and insulated wire, include the increase in size due to insulation thickness. These dimensions are critical for ensuring that the wire fits correctly in its intended applications, such as in motor winding or transformer. Anyway, talaga namang dumadaan talaga sa quality assurance yung mga magnet wires natin para kapakinabangan naman, kasi kung lumampas siya dito sa maximum nito or hindi na-meet yung minimum nito, edi useless lang yung mga wires natin. So the dimension is chine-check nila talaga. Test procedure, ayan yung testing natin na sinasabi ko. Describe the specific testing procedure used to verify the properties and performance of magnet wire. The tests are categorized into routine tests and periodic conformance tests. Yan yung pinagdadaanan nila. Okay, so routine test, dimensional testing, adherence and flexibility, and heat shocks. And yung dielectric breakdown and solderability. Yan yung mga pinagdadaanan ng ating wires. And under the periodic conformance test naman is yung thermal endurance, transformer oil resistance, scrap resistance. Okay, so yun. Ordering information and product identification. Yan. The document outlines a standard format for ordering magnet wire known as the product identification number or PIN. A system allows user to specify the type of insulation, conductor, material, build type, wire dimension, and other relevant details in standardized format. For example, a pin might look like ganyan. Yan, indicating a 16.5 AWG heavy built copper wire with green insulation and paraffin lubrications. Conclusion, the ANSI or NEMA MW 1000-2003 standard serve as a comprehensive reference for the manufacturing, testing, and application of MW or magnet wire. It ensures that the wire used in electrical apparatus meet rigorous dimensional, material, and performance criteria. The detailed specification, testing methods, and thermal classifications provided in the documents are essential for manufacturers, quality control personnel, and end user in industries relying on electromagnetic components such as motor, transformers, and generators. Yan, product safety and labels. Pre, meron din tayo ng mga yan. Yan, ANSI Z535.4-2023 Product Safety Signs and Label. Yan. Standard set forth a system for presenting safety and accident prevention information through product safety signs. Yan. Makakikita tayo ng mga ganyan is kailangan talaga na sundin natin. Kung mayroon tayong nakitang notice, warning, caution, or danger, mag-comply tayo. So these labels and signs are intended to identify hazards that a person may encounter while operating or servicing various products. Product safety sign or label is any visual communication affixed to a product that provides safety information about the product. It consists of two main components, the signal word panel or the message panel. Ayan, parang ganyan, signal word. Okay, so alam ko naman na alam natin yung mga ibig sabihin nito. Danger, warning, caution, notice, safety instruction, yan. Pag meron tayong mga nakitang ganyan, so i-apply na natin yung mga understanding natin about sa mga word na yan. So, pag danger na, so wag na tayong papasok mga ganyan. So, may caution na. Ayan, so parang hazardous na yung place na yan. Okay, so please lang, mag-follow tayo sa mga signs and labels na yan. Parang ganyan. Okay? No ba? Product safety sign and labels pa rin. Message panel naman ito. Keep hazardous voltage. Keep out. Access restricted to authorized personnel only. Ayan. So, ano lang. Dito lang is, ang tinitignan natin is safety. So, kung ano man yung mga nandyan, message panel man yan, o yung ano yan, edi wag na tayong tumuloy or kung hindi tayo authorized personnel sa mga place na yan. Safety signs and colors, meron din. Pag red na, danger, warning, cautions, parang ganyan. Okay? So, very basic lang naman to. Pag makita mo ng ganyan, edi wag ka nang tumuloy kung hindi ka authorized. Uniformity and consistency, the ANSI Z535.4 standard aim to consolidate graphic approaches into a national and common design. So, yung purpose nito is meron tayong uniformity and consistency na pagkakita mo pa lang sa sign na yun is alam na natin kung ano yung ibig sabihin. Okay, changes in the 2023 version. 2023 edition of ANSI Z535.4 clarified the relationship between the standard and other applicable standard and regulation. It introduced a new definition for authority having jurisdiction. Additionally, safety messages are now allowed to reference of the safety signs and panels. So, may revision. General instructions for proper installation, operation, and maintenance of panel boards rated 600 volts or less. So mga ano lang, mababang voltahe. Okay? So, ito yung general instruction nila. For our proper installation, operation, and maintenance. Dapat alam natin yung mga ito kasi mag-i-install tayo. Okay? And then afterwards, sa maintenance na tayo, so ano ba yung mga standards or instructions na gagamitin natin or gagawin natin. Yung scope nito, this section defines the scope of the document. The publication covers single panel board or group of panel units that distribute electricity at 600 volts or less. The panel boards can include buses, switches, and overload protective devices. like fuse or circuit breakers. Excluded from the scope are live front panel boards with gas enclosure for special service conditions, and those designed primarily for residential and light commercial services. Okay, ayan. Mga under 600 volts, syempre yung mga makikita natin sa ating mga residential, small commercial, ayan. Okay. This section lists reference to other standards and codes that are critical to understanding and applying the ANSI NEMA PB 1.1-2013 or dito sa NFPA 70 and EC, which is Primary Electrical Safety Standard in the US, NFPA 70 Standard for Electrical Safety in the Workplace, NEMA standards, including guidelines for ground fault protection device or PB 2.2.2 and for handling of water damage electric product. So, yan yung mga references nila. So, we already done with the NFPA. So, nakita natin doon yung mga gusto niyang iparating sa atin or yung mga standards naman nila. So, yung reference ng NEMA is doon din kinuha. Okay. So, this section outlines general safety, section 3, okay, and operations guidelines. Warning on hazardous voltages, emphasizes the danger posed by electrical equipment and the importance of ensuring power is disconnected and isolated before the performing maintenance or inspection. It refers to NFPA 70 for safety practices. Successful operation, the proper installation, operation, and maintenance of panel boards are essential for safe and successful operations. Qualified personnel, tayo. Siyempre. Yan yung trabaho natin eh. So, only qualified personnel should perform installation and maintenance, and the term qualified is defined as someone familiar with the installation and hazard of the equipment. So, sabi ko nga tayo, kasi tayo yung may familiar sa installation and the hazards of the equipment. So, qualified personnel must be knowledgeable about the NEC and other code laws and standards, as well as trained in established safety practices, including grounding, lockout, tagout, procedure, and first aid. The personnel must be trained in the use of protective equipment, rubber gloves, safety glasses, etc. So, tayo. Yung section 4 is installation of panel boards or panel board cabinets. Okay, so installation, the cabinet should be installed in a neat and workmanlike manner according to the manufacturer instruction. Location, it must be placed in a location that is accessible and not prone to physical damage or exposure to hazardous materials or condition like high humidity or vibration. So, alam na natin kung saan natin ipepesto. So, habang sa design pa lang natin, linolocate na natin kung saan pwede yung panel boards natin. Okay, so ilagay natin sa accessible. Marami na akong example sa previous lesson natin regarding sa panel boards. Anyway, I know you know naman kung saan pwedeng ilagay yung ating mga panel boards. Basta yung andito lang is wag natin ilagay sa high humidity, yung malapit sa mga may water system, yung mga water places, watering area, or sa vibration. Kasi sa vibration naman, baka dati nabigsa nga vibration na matrip na. So, yan yung mga iwasan natin. Okay? Clearance and spacing. Okay, I think na-discuss ko na about that sa mga previous natin, sa mga clearance and spacing natin. Okay, and grounding, the panel board cabinet must be grounded according to NEC. So, wag natin kalimutan yung grounding and banding natin. Installation of conduit and conductors. This section explains how conduit and conductor should be installed. Okay? So, proper sealing must prevent moisture from entering the enclosure. Conductor must be protected from abrasion, and the NEC Article 300 provides additional guidelines. Knockout removal. Instruction for removing knockouts are provided to ensure that they are removed safely without damaging the enclosure. So, very basic reminder lang sa atin na nag-i-install or mag-i-install or dito sa work na to is tignan natin yung proper sealing natin sa ating mga conduit and yung knockout removal natin, tignan natin. Kasi pag hindi natin na seal ng mabuti yung mga pipes natin or yung mga conduit natin, yan yung cause pa na or yung area, yan yung possible na pwedeng pagpasukan ng ating ng moisture, ng tubig or kung ano man yan. So be careful. Conductor length should be kept to a minimum to avoid overheating but should be long enough to avoid straining terminal connection. So, basic natin dyan sa mga conductor length natin is I think we know already. Care during installation should be taken to avoid damaging insulation and bending radius. Must be followed to maintain conductor integrity. So, kaya nang sinabi ko nga, pag nasa work na tayo, pag meron na kayong project, pag may ginagawa kayo, consider that as your own para magbigyan natin ng halaga. Take good care of it. And always remember that yung safety, yung i-priority natin. Safety ng mga tao na gagamit ng establishment na yan and safety ng mga equipment. Okay? So, yun yung i-consider natin. Section 6, installation of panel board. The section describes the actual installation of the panel board inside the cabinet. Storage and handling. Panel board should be stored in a dry, clean place handled carefully to prevent damage during installation. Inspection. The panel board should be inspected for damage upon unpacking and the installer must ensure it matches the installation requirements. Okay? Installation process, care must be taken to properly align grounding and bonding sa NEC Article 408.40. Section 7, step to be taken before energizing. So, tightening connection. Ito yung isaalang-alang natin or we need to remember this always. You need to tighten connection before you energize. Double check or triple check ninyo yan. Okay, removing packing material. Ensure all shipping materials and blocks are removed from the panel board and its components before we will energize the panel board or the system natin. So, yan. Kasi, pag hindi natin tinight, okay, baka mag-trip or masunog lang yung ating ginagawa. So, make it sure para wala tayong overheating or failure sa ating mga ginagawa. Okay? There will be an instance kasi na pag hindi tightened yung connections natin, is okay, nag-operate siya. So, after 5 days siguro, nasunog na. O, parang ganyan. So, make sure na okay yung ating mga connections. Short circuit testing din. Pwede conduct insulation resistance test to ensure that the system is free from short circuits and ground faults. Testing is crucial to identify potential issues before energizing. Okay, also ground fault protection. If a ground fault protection system is present, it must be tested following the manufacturer's instructions. And very simple lang naman to. Kailangan nating i-test before we energize or during energization. Section 8, installation of cabinet front or trim installation. Cabinet is installed and care must be taken. Avoid pinching conductor doors and cover must be properly aligned and installed so they open at least 90 degrees. Ito yung sinasabi ko naman sa inyo na at least 90 degrees. Touch up and alignment. Any damage to cabinet's finish should be touched up and provision are given for aligning the cabinet front even if the cabinet is slightly out of alignment. So, pag mayroon tayong damages during the installations, before we energize, dapat it should be retouch, okay, or naayos na natin. Energizing equipment, the qualified personnel, okay, yung mag-energize. Kung ikaw yung engineers na nagtrabaho yan, you are the qualified personnel to energize that one. Okay, and no load on panel board. The panel board should be energized without any load, and all downstream devices should be turned off. So, wag muna natin lagyan ng load, i-energize muna natin, and then to follow na yung meron tayong load. So, maintenance, regular maintenance, and load testing. Alam naman natin kung ano yung regular maintenance na ginagawa natin. Already discussed this one sa mga previous sa mga previous standards, previous lectures. And yung load testing before inspections, ensure the panel board has been running its regular load for at least 3 hours. So, ganun yung pag-load testing natin. Okay? So, paliiwan tayo. Kaya lang DJ inaramit tayo, no? Gumangan namit lang menuhan. For at least 3 hours. So, mag-set ka na kung ano gagawin mo sa 3 hours na yan habang hinihintay mo yung testing na yan. Or marami kang, or isabay mo na rin, check mo na yung temperature, check mo na yung mga, lahat na, check mo na lahat habang naka-energize siya. So, sabihin mo, client, okay na, ma'am, sir, okay na to. We already tested it for about 3 hours, and okay naman, gumana naman. So, okay na yung gawa ninyo, parang ganyan. Safety precaution, always turn off, disconnect, and electrical isolate power before inspection or maintenance. Annual inspection is required. Cleaning. Okay, so alam naman natin kung ano yung gagawin natin sa mga panel.